And welcome to this edition of the Coach Derwin Wright Sports Show. Joining me, Coach Derwin Wright, and Coach, a tough one against a good rival on Friday.
Well, they got a good team, and I knew they did coming in, senior-laden team. And, 3 years ago they went 1-9 with that group, and they've just brought them up and grew them up. And, they just got a good, solid football team, and they're not undefeated for for no reason. They've got a good football team, and we didn't help ourselves in the game either, but taking nothing away from them, it's a good, solid football team.
We'll take a look at the LA squad, plus we'll look ahead to this week's County game and what it means as far as playoff implications right after this.
For more than a century, Union Bank has been serving the people of Fentress County. Now, as we begin a new chapter in our history of service, we want to take this opportunity to reassure you that while our building may be new, we're still the same friendly people you have known for years. Union Bank, the same people, the same goals, and the same commitment to you. Union Bank, your locally owned hometown bank for more than a century, growing to meet your needs. Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Back here on the Coach Derwin Wright Sports Show, Coach, Livingston Academy came out with an entirely different game plan than most people thought they were going to.
Well, with the rain, they got in a tight set, and they got 4 seniors on the offensive line, and they had their way up front, and we didn't stop the running game consistently all night. And that's not what I thought they were going to come out doing, but that's a sign of a good team. They can run the ball when they need to run the ball. That's obvious, and we didn't do a lot to help ourselves.
Coach, offensively, you just couldn't get anything going, and then you have turnovers and some penalties that really hurt.
Well, we did. Their first score, they drove down the field on us, and then the next 3's off our turnovers. And you can't play any team and lose a turnover margin and expect to win, especially not a good team. And it's just been a thorn for us all year long. We had a fumble, had another fumble, then mishandled a snap and got tackled in the end zone. Just a wet ball, and we worked it on Wednesday and handled it well, but got in the game and just didn't handle it at all.
Coach, I think that was probably the difference. They handled the weather, and you guys had struggled with it.
I agree with you. They did. They handled it and didn't really have a mishap, and we were just opposite, Gary.
Coach, you were able, I guess, to shut down any passing attack. They never really threw the ball at all, hardly.
Well, they threw a couple times, and I thought Jonah Derwin was playing good position, and but they were if you told me coming in the game that they were going to just line up and run over, so I'd said no, I don't think that's going to happen, but it did, and and with that, basically the mishaps, we got down and went in halftime and regrouped a little bit. I just told our guys, I said, we act like we want to quit and not be here, and we need to go out in the second half and go back to 0-0 and play a tough third and fourth quarter, and we was able to come out 6-6 in the third and fourth quarter. So that was a positive out of the game, but we got to come out ready to play to start with.
Coach, it was senior night. You had some good seniors you said goodbye to as far as maybe their last game here at York.
Yeah, we did, and we've got a lot of first-year seniors is one thing, but we also got a couple of guys that, like Aaron Talon, who, just bad luck his senior year. Aaron's one of our more solid offensive defensive linemen. We lost him for the year back, I guess, Sparta game, and that's been bad. But Zach's been a starting center for us from his sophomore year, the last 3 years, and Thomas Miller, he's had a rough senior year. He's missed a lot of games due to injuries and stuff, and he was actually back Friday night and was trying to help us. Johan West, who got a little dazed last week, we let him kick off and do extra points for us, but we didn't play him any, just the fact to protect him. And Zach Holdren was out the whole night with a concussion. And there's several other. Kellen Buck, Kellen's first-year senior for us. Has done a good job. Rob Lower, Zach, he's a first-year senior for us. He's a homeschool student, but been out for us, going to go in the Marines. And, we got some time with him. John Walker, who's kind of had dealt with a back injury most of the year, and Landon Martin. And then we got Edward Stockton. Edward's been a starter for us the last 2 and 3 years. And, so even in that senior group, there's a lot of new guys and guys that hadn't played the whole time. But one senior I've been real proud of all year. He's a guy. If you walk in and you say, "Hey, we want you to go here. We want you to do this." Alex Crownover. Alex Crownover is one of our seniors, played tight end for us all year, and he's just a great kid to coach. But the whole senior group, and I'm sure I'm leaving somebody out, but the whole senior group, they're a young group of seniors, believe it or not. There's about 4 guys that's been with us from the beginning, and 4 or 5, and a couple of those guys are injured, but they've hung in there. And the thing about it is, to me, it's a life lesson, because things happen in life that we don't expect, and we've had some injuries we didn't expect, and some guys that we're thinking they might be on the sideline most of the year have been thrown in the fire. We had 3 and 4 freshmen starting the other night. Little Ben Hall come in and gave us some minutes at fullback, Connor Ward also, and Eli Kirby. So, Eli got player of the game last week, and so those guys, they've got a good future ahead of them, and we've still got this chance this Friday night to go to Cannon County and still get a chance to go to the playoffs. So, we hate to see those seniors go, but like I told them, coming in, we've got another opportunity, and if we can win Friday night, we start a new season.
Coach, you come out pretty well unscathed as far as any more injuries, but you did have another ejection the other night.
We did, and it was plays going down, and just kicked his foot up, and kicked the player in the face mask, and it's just not smart, and so he's going to have to sit a game. We're getting Ben Cooper back from last week, where he had to set out a game, and Ben still says he didn't do what he was accused of doing. You can't see it on the film, but. In any sense, he's done some dumb things this year, but also plays extremely hard. I think it's a good lesson learned for him, and I think he's going to come back this Friday night and play with a whole lot more desire than what we've seen out of him.
Have we got anybody besides Ben that's coming back this week?
No, that's everybody we've got back. The rest of the injuries were pretty much for the season. So but Ben was. Linebacker, and Ben's been playing there. He played most of the year last year. Got some reps as a freshman, and then last year as a sophomore played, pretty much all year for us at fullback and rotated in at linebacker. And his junior year, he's been a two-way player for us. So that was a big loss for us last week.
Well, the Dragons won't be at full strength, but they will be ready to play this Friday night as they've got a big matchup, a final game of the regular season, a region matchup with Cannon County that has a lot of implications. We'll talk about that when we come back.
For more than a century, Union Bank has been serving the people of Fentress County. Now, as we begin a new chapter in our history of service, we want to take this opportunity to reassure you that while our building may be new, we're still the same friendly people you have known for years. Union Bank, the same people, the same goals, and the same commitment to you. Union Bank, your locally owned hometown bank for more than a century, growing to meet your needs. Equal Housing Lender Member FDIC.
Back here with Coach Derwin Ryan. Coach, this week you got the Cannon County Lions, a team that has struggled in the past but playing pretty decent this year.
They are. They're 4-5, and they've got some pretty good athletes. Number 2 is their quarterback. To me, that's the guy that we've got to really stop, him and number 3. Number 3 is looks to be about 6'3" receiver. Pretty smooth receiver, goes up and gets the ball. So we've got to do a good job as far as shutting that quarterback down and doing a good job covering number 3. I think those are the 2 guys that we really got to focus on.
Coach, what do you got to do to move it against them?
Well, up front, we've not been winning the battle up front. We're not chipping. We're not getting the linebackers. Livingston was in our backfield all night, and we're not helping ourselves either. We've got to be able to go on 2, and we've got to be able to go on a quick count. Did a lot of extra running yesterday when we jumped off sides and stuff, but that's a focus. We've got to be able to change our snap count up.
Coach, there was one bright spot against Livingston. Your special teams had some good returns, and you could really use some this way.
Yeah, they have. And I think that kickoff return team is we're getting some blocks up front, and our guys are hitting up the field. Had 2 that we were one guy away from breaking and going all the way. Again, we're doing some good things, but we got to number 1 fix the turnovers, and we got to do a better job blocking on the offensive line.
Coach, a lot of folks look at Cannon County's 4-5 record and y'all's 2-6 record or 2-7 record, but you got to look at the competition. They haven't played many teams that's been ranked in the top 10. You guys have had 4 this season.
Yeah, we played a tough schedule. We knew going in we had a tough schedule, and we knew that we were going to have some really young kids in certain spots, but had no idea the injuries that were going to be taking place this year. But that is the game of football. Sometimes the last 2-3 years we've been blessed. I mean, I've been thankful, Lord, how many kids been protected, and Landrick Lefevue, who played quarterback and inside linebacker for us for 2 years in a row, started and played in every game, without getting any kind of major injury. That's a miracle within itself. But we've just been lucky the last 2 years, and it seemed like all those came around this year. And But again, the number one thing to prevent that is a hard workout program and the winter workout program, and we're going to have to look at that and see what we were doing wrong this year compared to the other 2 years, and do a better job. It's just like Dalton. We talking about Dalton. Dalton is a talented athlete, but we got to pack about 15, 20 pounds more muscle on him and some other kids too. But it's just been one of those seasons that if it's been bad to happen, it's happened to us. And but we're due. Our kids are still working hard and practicing and getting after it. And we're going to turn this thing around. We've got another shot Friday night.
Coach, this game is winner take all as far as that final playoff spot.
I agree with you 100%. They're playing for a 5-5 record, and we're playing for just another chance to survive and make the playoffs. And that's huge to make the playoffs. We've seen teams go in at 5-5 and win the whole thing. One of our longest runs was a 6-4 team that actually lost at Cannon County earlier in the season, and that was the 2009 team that went to the 4th round. So, there's that chance of turning everything around, but the first thing that's got to happen is we got to execute better and do a better job blocking and tackling, Gary.
Coach, there's no saying you can't win it if you ain't in it.
That's exactly right. That's true.
And, Coach, you guys go on the road for this one. It's a road game, a long trip, but that's been your – I guess strong points playing on the road this year.
Well, our 2 wins have been on the road, and and one of them was a long trip, trip to Jackson County, which is not that long, but the Grundy County trip is probably a little farther than Cannon County. So, we've been successful on the road, not at home, but you think when you win a couple on the road that you're going to get a couple more wins, but it's just not happened. But again, like you said, our 2 wins have been on the road, and we get an opportunity Friday night to try to get a 3rd one.
And, Coach, I know it's a long trip, but it's a huge, huge game. We need a great big crowd to follow us down there.
It's a huge game. It's going to be cold. It's going to be football weather, and we do. There's not even calling for rain right now, but, high about 48 and low about 28. And, to me, that's a good hot chocolate bundle up. And Coach Wright wears his shorts, and let's go play football.
That's football time, right?
That's football time on the mountain.
Hey, we appreciate Coach and best of luck on Friday.
All right, thank you.
That's going to do it for this edition of the Coach Derwin Wright Sports Show. Be sure to turn out Friday night. It's a huge game. Winner take all. The winner of the Cannon County York game on Friday gets that final playoff berth. So it's a big, big game, and we expect to see you there. Until then, for 15104 Sports, I'm Gary Clark. See you at the game.